Welcome back. We got another episode of Let 'Em Ride for you. And there's only one game on the WNBA slate for Thursday, July 11th. So we're going to break down and analyze that game. We'll talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points and the spread. And then any plays that I put in for that game, I will have listed down below in the pinned comment. So don't forget to check back in. That way you don't miss out on any of those. And then we're going to recap our picks from Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll start with Tuesday. We had the Lynx versus the Sparks under 156. And this does hit for us. And then on Wednesday, we took the Liberty laying 1.5 points. And this cashes for us as well. So 2-0 over the last 2 days. We only take a pick on each day, just one each. Look, it's been a little bit of a cold stretch, so playing it conservative. But man, maybe I shouldn't have. Take a look back at the leans from our last video on Wednesday. Man, all 4 of them things smacked. So, could have been a bigger night. But like I said, we were taking it conservative, trying to build back up on our units. We are now up 5.83 units. We're sitting at a 30-24 overall record. So let's take that good energy right into this video, into this game here. So let's dive into it. So we're going to have the Sky versus the Liberty in this one. New York is laying 11. We have an over-under sitting at 165.5. Now, both of these teams come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel involved for each of them. They both played yesterday afternoon. Chicago beat the Dream at home by 9, but this in reality was a much closer game. The lead switched back and forth for much of the game, and Atlanta was within 1 point with just under a minute and a half to play. The Liberty beat the Sun in Connecticut, and this is the second straight time they've done so this year. Liberty led by as many as 14 in the first half, but Connecticut kept things closer in the second, leading by 1 with just over 2 minutes to play. But then they missed their next 5 shots. 4 of those misses came from blocks, and 3 of those 4 blocks came from Stewie alone. The Liberty held on for a 3-point win in that one. Be sure to check the injuries here. I don't see anything listed right now, but with it being a back-to-back, and Lanny Hamilton missed yesterday's game as well. So, yeah, like I said, just keep an eye on that one. We are recording. It's about 10 o'clock right now at the time we're recording, and I haven't seen anything last time I checked. But as we know with the WNBA, Lanny Hamilton was a late scratch yesterday. So keep an eye on that before you place any bets. The Liberty are 18-4 on the year. They are 10-1 straight up. 2-9 to the number at home this season. The Liberty have been double-digit favorites for all but one of those games, and they have covered as double-digit favorites only once this year. The Sky are 5-5, both straight up and to the number on the road. They are 9-12 overall. That's 7th in the W, and they are currently in position for the playoffs. New York can beat you from inside or from the perimeter, shooting the highest percentage from the restricted area and the second highest from the paint outside of the restricted area. The Sky are giving up the fewest buckets in the paint from outside of that restricted area, but the most from inside the restricted area. Liberty are also making the 3rd most threes from above the break and the most from the left corner, but Chicago has defended the perimeter well. They're giving up the 4th fewest above the break threes and the fewest from the left corner. The Sky are making the most shots from the restricted area in the W on the most attempts, but at the lowest shooting percentage. And New York is holding opponents to the 4th fewest makes in the restricted area at the lowest shooting percentage. Chicago is first in points scored in the paint, but New York gives up the 3rd fewest. The Sky make the 4th most shots from the mid-range, but the least above the break threes, and they shoot them at the lowest percentage in the W. The Sky just don't really rely on the perimeter shooting at all. They shoot and make the least amount of threes altogether per game in the league. I like the Liberty in this game to get the win, but that double-digit line is scaring me off of the full game spread. Liberty have covered in just 1 of 12 times as a double-digit favorite, as we talked about earlier. They are only 9-13 against the spread. Chicago has covered in 3 of their last 4, and as double-digit dogs 2 of 3 times so far this season. Coincidentally enough, the Liberty have played a back-to-back one other time this year, and they were at Connecticut for the first one before traveling back to New York for the second game, just like this one. They were laying 15 to the Mystics. They were tied at the half in that one, and they only won by 5. So I think looking at the Sky with the points, and maybe even the Sky early in the first quarter, they've been a good first quarter team, and even in the first half, I think all of these make sense. For the total, New York crushed the over in that second leg of their last back-to-back that we just spoke of. They scored 93 and gave up 88 to Washington, landing at 181. That's well above this 165.5 line. But the Liberty have hit the under in 4 straight, and the Sky have hit the under in 3 of their last 5. Chicago have played to the under against top defenses in Minnesota and Seattle, along with a decent Atlanta defense, however, in that time. In New York's recent unders, they came against the Sun and the Lynx, along with the Fever and the Dream. Chicago plays at the third fastest pace, and the Liberty, despite failing to hit 80 in any of their last 3 games, are the second highest scoring team in the W. So I'm going to slightly lean over for this one. All right, so that's just about going to wrap it up here for another episode of Let 'Em Ride. But before we get out of here, let's recap what we went over in today's video and talk about which way that we're leaning for this game here. Right now, I'm looking at Chicago with the points, and I'm looking at Chicago specifically in the first half plus 6.5. Now, that is just currently a lean. I have not placed that bet yet. But if I do, and when I do, and if I find anything else that I like before tip-off, I will throw all of that down below in the pinned comment. So be sure that you check back in to see if you'd like to ride along with me. Or maybe you check back in and you're like, bro, those picks are trash. I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. Whatever you decide to do, throw those down in the comments for me. Or maybe you just want to let me know that I need to change the background music. Hey, man, I accept all the critique. Guys, whatever that you would like to see differently in the show, don't hesitate to let me know. If you want to see me add anything in, you want to see me take something out, let me know, man. I'm all about it, guys. I love the interaction. I love the engagement. I make these shows for you guys. Let me know what you want to see. With that said, if you like the content today, if you found the information helpful or useful in any kind of way, please do not forget to smash that like button down there. It is very helpful for the channel, very helpful in helping us grow. And if you have not subscribed already, please do. That way you don't miss out on any of the content that we are dropping daily. And if you can hit share, it is greatly appreciated. So that's going to wrap it up here for us today, and I'll see you on the next video.